Nana do diwo. Oba ma dollar kwasoro yet. Oba ma dollar kwasoro.
Oh my God. GH pa.
People jump papa na bonye de akufa do dinwo. Messay o man no man. Ena ba o me yi da ma no. O say 3 days to election. We are to petrol. Onu kwase onim. Afeda Nana do diwo. Oba ma dollar kwasoro yet. Oba ma dollar kwasoro.
Oh my God. GH pa.
People jump papa na bonye de akufa do dinwo.
For one subscribe ya not wa subscribe one share video no so not wa share video no wotimi kire wa dwen enso so e wo comment section bonum and that there anasa na saying 50 time wa o man peni John Dramani Mahama oba suwin dollar no then mu nyam e ba form and as say there see the numum and $10 no kon so a wo chen do wonyo na no o man peni de anu di same aba betudwa e kon aba fa so oba yama dollar no edina na said the beya Ghana for and over how money ubia kwani aba ebekwi now ba penika same do ha efa concern is say dollar na beba 4 cedi and ma 4 cedis yenko na yenkuti e ho no so emra ye ba na ano di same anu woka bebre fa ho no ye de ho nyina so be de ebeso mu ntinya bre na yenti o ma penika saye kakra bi ye ba na de we waka nsemu ni bebre
and general macroeconomic stability, returning to investor confidence and all that. And so I can assure you that in managing the economy together with the Minister of Finance, the Governor of the Bank, you can count on us to make sure that we manage the economy properly. Because if we don't, it affects your businesses. When the economy goes out of gear, it affects your businesses directly. And so I can assure you that we will continue to prudently manage the economy so that you have a predictable environment in which you can make investments, knowing that your return on investment would keep your businesses going. The recent appreciation in value of the cedi is one that we have kept watching. As the cedi started to strengthen and the dollar depreciated. I mean, with our A-level economics, we all know that it's a balance between imports and exports. What it means is that it makes your imports cheaper and your exports more expensive. And so there must be a fair balance to try and achieve the true value of the cedi. Some people say, oh, it will come down to 4, but of course we know the true value of the cedi is not 4, and if it went as far down as 4, it will kill all your export businesses. And so myself, the government, and the finance minister met and discussed it. And they think that the real value of the cedi is anywhere between 10 and 12. Luckily, the forex auction has brought it to just above 10, and it appears to have stabilized there. So I think that going forward, anything between 10, 11, and 12 as a band where the cedi operates will be a fair value, both to encourage our exports, but at the same time not make imports so cheap that importers will flood our markets with toothpicks and biscuits and coconuts and all those kinds of things. And so it's a challenge to our exporters to take advantage of the cedi's appreciation, because then the advantage we also have is raw materials can be cheaper, fuel has gone down, so transporting your products and all that will be cheaper, port charges will go down, and so it has incentives for you, and at the same time it has incentives for importers, but I'm asking the importers not to take advantage of it and flood us with all the, Nkatia burger and things that they bring from other countries. Let's try on the import side to import substitutes and produce as many of the products that we bring from outside. Let's produce them here. And at the same time, let's produce more products that people demand outside so that we have a better balance in terms of our economic growth. And so, like I said, it's both, it's an advantage for us, and we must take the opportunity. So I was happy when our speaker spoke about how you intend to take advantage of the improved economic environment. We must improve our export processes so that it makes it easier for you to be able to move your export products out. And so we'll be working closely with you to find out what the obstacles and hindrances are. And we'll work together with you to make sure that we smoothen it so that you can have a clear path to be able to export your products and be able to make Ghana's economics stronger. And so investing in export processing zones, providing cold chain facilities for those who need cold chain to be able to do their exports, providing pack houses, for exporters to be able to pack their goods properly for the export market. Those are all things that we need to work together on. And you mentioned the issue of credit. It's important to be able to give you affordable credit so that you're able to increase your production and thereby be able to export. It's because of you that in 2016 I set up the Ghana Exim Bank. We converted EDIF to Ghana Exim. Unfortunately, if you look, I've looked at the portfolio of the credit that has been given, and you are the people that money should have been going to, not to people who just take it and buy sports cars and things like that. If you look at the list of some of those who took that money, you wonder, really, that's not why we set up the bank.
And yet, sir, Uti and us, what tea and so and a watch him quite a fast of a dollar and stabilize it. Na asanko wie peyo se de be ya Ghana ni bia ho ebetono na enkoye se enawi makodofu anase mayekua na ndo baye se de be amede be ba kurumukura se transportation tino na chese untimi ntobo de no atima to bante kura de awofufu adi ena o mampini sie no wose dollar ne de be ba form na emom se de ewose eba no ewose edina between 10 and 11 average se de be ya emma a phone bebre sa said the Ghana for be doing say I was a bar phone bebre net take by for series no or say by having yes and for be cracker and there may be a wunya nema tantan ediaba and waka cut your burger and ye biscuit monitoring and mono kwasa sem say said with a fraction almost one who now omudi begu or mine mu $1 no yede e kwosoro na yesi di muso ani munyam so yede eba from dabi and yes and betie intino or best stabilizing na aye between 10 to 11 honum na say the be ya transportation so betie fuel so betie eduane bo beba from na Ghana fo nyina enso so aho aye de atowo mu na aso ebetima ene sa na ene bi mu say o man pani unim na ye ni say na koyesa MPP for ba besa say no nti ugidi say MPP for ba on besa na ama o man na kosoro kire wadwen e o comment section honum yenti o man pani the way I know Sifaka Ghana semono na o man pani so won awe Ghana ni wo hwa na mamu no ene the way a o ye ne niam no hwa se na etie woji ni tum se waye ade se wo bo no homode se wo bo adwuma ebi mu keka se oba ye wa ba be yi nkrofo bi adi oba ye so aso de watu na ni so asi MPP for so na media nka mehu ne se nyeso watu na ni asi MPP for so se bi otafra cho ti abam na wababam na se wabokro no wawia o man sika de a we se emra ene yede ene wudi we Ghana ni utua to mesu me Ghana ni ye nyina tua to monchire madwen e o comment section won ye di Ghana ho komo ye di Ghana ho suga ye san to Ghana yenko ne yenkuti o mampeni ensem a no wo kan bebre efa ye Ghana se de be bebu na mamu oni ye na obenya good legacy ansa na o dey free abamu enemi ntana mesa bon kai se ha no SIKAPAMEDIA wodo me ye no subscribe no asan share video no so ayede amaye yenko ni nti o mampeni
larger vessels are coming into our ports and dropping containers for other countries. And MPS partners are putting those on smaller vessels and redistributing them to Liberia, Sierra Leone. So it means that if we have exports going there, there is the facility for us to put our containers there to supply from Namibia, Angola, Cameroon, Nigeria, and other countries. And so let's take advantage of that in terms of our exports. As you said, Ghana is strategically located, and so we must take advantage of our strategic location. Ghana is the country closest to the middle of the world, where longitude and latitude meet. It meets just offshore Tema. And so our distance in terms of every part of the world is much of an advantage than other people who are in the far east or other people who are in the far west. And so it means that it's something we can take advantage of. If we pack our produce, within 6 hours we can have them in the European markets. You know, within 8 hours we can have them in the Middle Eastern markets. And within 9 hours we can have them in the American markets. That's an advantage. I mean, other people have to ship or fly their products from far down south, and it takes 12 hours to 13 hours to get to the destination. And so I'll ask you to take advantage of that. Under the 24-hour economic policy, we're developing what we call the Volta Lake Economic Zone. When our first president built the Akosombo Hydroelectric Dam, electricity was just one component of that particular project. The other component was to use the water of the lake to create Ghana into an agribusiness and agricultural hub of not only our nation, but also of West Africa. And there are billions of cubic feet of water in that lake. Indeed, it's said to be the largest man-made lake. And there are hundreds of thousands of hectares of land that are uninhabited and inhabited along the banks of the Volta Lake. We think the time has come to take advantage of that. Draw electricity to that side of the lake, construct roads there. Already there's the design for an inland port on the other side of the lake, where we took the railway line from Tema to Mpakadang, and then create a special economic export processing zone on that side, so that you can produce your peppers, you can produce your pineapples, you can produce your mangoes and everything, bring them into the port, put them on the train, and the train will bring them straight to Tema and get them ready for export. And so the opportunities exist for that. We are doing the design and the planning, and when the time comes, we will invite you to be together so that we cut short for the beginning of the Volta Lake Economic Zone project. I know that, if we support you and expand your businesses, we'll be able to create hundreds of thousands of jobs for our young people, so that our young people don't have to take the risky journey across the desert and the Mediterranean to be able to reach Europe, because they'll be able to find jobs here. Under the African Continental Free Trade Area, I've been following the issue of the development of the Pan-African Payment and Settlement System. I believe that this will revolutionize African trade, because it will allow us to trade amongst ourselves seamlessly without the border of having to change our currencies into other people's currencies before making payments. And so Ghana is one of those, because we host the African Continental Free Trade Area, pushing for the Pan-African Payment and Settlement System to be operational as quickly as possible, so that we can take advantage of it. I've taken note of your complaint about being removed on the boards of GEPA. GEPA, that's a sad mistake. How can Phage not be on the GEPA board? I thought it was institutional representation. And if it is, then Phage should be there. Yeah, so we'll take a look at that. And then also look at Ghana Exim. Ghana Exim is also institutional. So we'll take a look at that and make any correction that has occurred. And you can count on me. I'll be your champion, because I'm in the agricultural space myself, not as an exporter, but I'm contributing to Ghana's food security as a producer. I have a farm where I produce maize and soya bean, and then I also have a farm for livestock, goats and cows, and then I have a small cocoa farm, and I have some plantain in the cocoa farm. So when I harvest, maybe I'll send some to you guys. So you can be sure that on 11th June, I will put it on my diary and make sure that I'm here. My secretary is looking at me, but I'll ask him to prioritize it, and make sure that I'm able to join you for the expo. And so thank you very much for coming. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Another round of applause, please. Very inspiring words, and we are gearing towards action and towards implementation.